Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about the throttle linkages or governor linkage, and also the choke linkage, which ain't really a linkage, it's more of just a lever, but we're going to show it anyway. So this is a brand new 212 I bought just to make some videos on. It's been sitting around for quite a while. The first thing we're going to do is just take the air breather off to gain access to all this. There is a screw you need to remove inside here. It's just a Phillips screw. You'll see it as soon as you take the filter out. Remove that. That's what helps hold the assembly on there. It's a very simple, like sheet metal looking screw. It goes into the plastic. I'll remove these two nuts right here. Get them loose first, and I'll show you a little trick that you got to do. You need to have these both like this in order for the plastic to come off. Try to make this video as short as possible. I'm just trying to show you step by step. That way, if you did need to remove this to get to your linkages, you'll know what to do. So that's your breather tubes and vent tubes from the gas tank. The muffler's cold right now, so we can set this up here like this. Alright, now let's look at everything. You can also move your carburetor right now. It will be loose, so don't think something's broke when you see it like that. These actually have a very simple linkage setup. So this runs from your governor arm. As you've seen in the previous video, we adjusted the governor. So that arm comes around here. And you get an actual linkage that connects from here to your throttle. You can see it there. It's got a bend right here and a bend right there. And that moves with your throttle between there and the throttle plate of the carburetor to open and close the throttle plate. I'm going to first talk about, since it's visible, this little spring right here that rides on this linkage. It'll connect right here and over here. You see it right there. It's this little fine wire right here. And same thing on this end. It connects to a separate hole right here. This is not your governor spring. What this spring does, it keeps tension between the governor arm and your throttle on the carburetor. That way if there's any play or slack in the linkage, it'll be absorbed and it won't cause a surge or idle, because it could be a possible little bit of play on there. That way as soon as this moves, it's moving that directly, that there's no slop in it. That's the only purpose of it. If you run one without this, if it breaks, it'll run just fine. But there may be just a teeniest tiny bit of a surge at idle or whatever throttle your setting is. So if you have a slight surge or very small surge, check this first. Just make sure it didn't come loose or break. That's the only purpose that serves. I'm going to take the gas tank off just so you can see the rest of the linkages, just to clarify any confusion on the governor arm, and so you can see the actual governor spring better. Alright, so I got the gas tank bridged up here just so you can get a closer view on here. And this is your governor shaft and your governor arm. This is where your governor adjusts at. If you've seen in the previous video, your linkage connects into the far hole here. You run straight to your carburetor throttle. The spring hooks into the hole right here beside it and hooks in up here into the plastic. Now this spring you see here, this is your actual governor spring. So right now when the engine's set to idle, see it rests up against this screw right here, which sets your idle speed, as we talked about in the previous video. Now you can see what it actually does. This spring does nothing at idle. The idle is not governed. It's just a fixed idle speed. So if you put a load on the engine at idle, it will bog down. It's not self-governed like it would be at the throttle. So as soon as you start applying spring tension by pulling the throttle lever, it puts tension on here and it overpowers the force of the governor. That's what sets your RPM up here. Stronger spring tension is higher throttle. So it balances itself out under load. And you'll see, like when a load hits it, it'll kick up like that, and that's what's going on there. And you can see which hole it's in, just for reference. And it goes over to a tab. It's right there. You can actually bend that tab slightly to fine tune it if necessary, if you can't get enough adjustment out of the screw. This is the adjustment screw that we adjusted on the previous video to set the governor speed at full throttle. It just sets the limit of how far this opens, is all it does. It's not actually adjusting the spring tension, other than just how far the linkage pulls on this. This is basically a return spring on there. That's all this is a return spring. You can hook a throttle cable up through here. It already comes with this bracket and a clamp to hook up to a throttle cable, and it just pulls this. You can actually loosen this nut slightly and it'll spring back on its own and pull it back like that. This is like a friction spot in here, so if this ever gets too loose, you can snug this bolt up here as well. So that should give you some good pointers on the linkage, on the basic setup. Now I'm going to show you how you would remove the linkage from the carburetor. And also note you can also hook up a throttle cable from this angle. It'll do the same thing from that angle. It just makes it more universal. So your carburetor, like I said, at idle. This is one of the most easiest setups you'll ever see on small engines. You pull it out slightly like this, and you just lift up on your throttle rod here, your throttle linkage. Let me get a close-up of that. So when you set it what would be idle on the carburetor like this, you just lift up on this rod and it comes straight out. There's no bends or nothing, except for that straight bend that goes down in there. And what holds it in place, you see there's like a slot right there. That way, once you're actually, when the carburetor's in place, the geometry keeps it from pulling out like that. Very simple, very reliable setup. You can also see how the spring hooks in here like this. Now I'm briefly going to talk about the choke setup, which is extremely simple on these, but it can be confusing if you take it apart and for some reason that happens. So you got this little simple plastic arm that's got a little piece of metal on it, and that's what goes into the choke linkage here. And it just pivots on this piece right here. So it would go into this hole just like that. I'll show you from above. You can see how it swivels on there like that. It just goes in like that and into that. And your plastic holds it in place to keep it from coming apart. You can see how your choke plate closes right there, blocking the air intake. This is one of the best carburetors ever made, in my opinion, other than not being adjustable. That's the only problem with them. Other than that, they're extremely reliable. This is a fuel shutoff valve made into the carburetor. This is your fuel line coming from your tank. Alright, I'm going to put this back together off camera. I just want to show you the linkages and share it with you, so hopefully this gets you going in the right direction on figuring out your linkages if anything comes apart while you're doing some work on it or something. So, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video. Stay tuned for some more Predator 212 videos, and be sure to check out the previous ones. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.